the 3 days that we spent here in Phoenix, Arizona have been fruitful.
Absolutely.
We've learned a lot about the market. So we can get into something like this. Really, it's only 20 units, right?
Yeah. Not
About $250 a door. So you're looking at $5 million to get into this market.
But we still have 4 more complexes.
So let's go. Brother Sid, what's going on? And we just checked out this piece of real estate right here. And what was your first impression here? Because this is now, we've been here for about 3 days. I want to say it's the 7th property we saw.
I think more, because we walked through a few outside as well.
Okay, we see some. So 7 or 8.
Yeah.
So what are you after seeing the market? So now we have a good idea.
Yes.
What do you think about this property here?
I like the fact that all the five structures are on different titles.
Yeah.
So just in case if you want to purchase, refinance and dispose one, that's easy. Another value add here would be one of the buildings just next to us.
Yeah, so I was just gonna say, so one of the building, the gray one, out of this complex, one person owned. So all of the like 90%,
Yeah.
you would say, of the complex is owned by one individual, which is selling,
Yeah.
and then one guy, this 4 unit here, says I'm not selling.
So out of the 6 building, one is owned by someone else. So the value add here would be to buy the 5 and try to get the 6th one, and then you can make this a gated complex, and then your value kind of goes up, because
Yeah.
now you're selling a portfolio of 20 units on one title, and
Yeah.
like that attracts more clients, like bigger, like smaller REITs, I would say.
Yeah.
The best part would be the mix of units is interesting.
Yeah.
All of the units are 2 beds, which is what I like, and 18 of them are renovated, 2 of them are not. On top of that, there is no capex, major expenses, like all the roofs have been changed, majority of the AC units have been changed. Another interesting thing I found about this property was everyone has an ensuite laundry, which is amazing.
Yeah, so the value add that a lot of investors like to look for, sometimes you need to examine and do your research in the market that you're in. And depending on where you're coming from, what your investors need, that value add may not be something you're going to pursue. So something like this, where it's more of it's a turnkey property, to an investor like me, where I am in my investment career,
Correct.
right, where I have like hundreds and hundreds of doors, I'm looking for more of the turnkey opportunities in new markets.
Yeah.
But now once we get into this market,
Then-
we understand the market, so we can get into something like this. Really, it's only 20 units, right?
Yeah. Not
About $250 a door. So you're looking at $5 million to get into this market.
And I think, like, from what we have seen,
Yeah.
250 for something which is almost everything is done,
Yeah.
is pretty attractive
It
here.
is pretty attractive, yeah.
And like, you have a church here, you have a golf course there, so
So-
there are a bunch of amenities that are exciting nearby.
I love Ishan's strategy. He goes and talks to all of the people, and I love that. So he was just talking to that gentleman across the stream. So what was the intel there?
So, first of all, before telling the intel, it can be skewed intel because of his personal interest of people not coming over here. But the interesting point he said was he has seen a lot of cops over here, which for some reason have some people living over here doing something fishy.
On the other, not in this complex, on the other
On
one.
the other side.
Yeah,
on the
and you
other
can
side.
already tell because
Like, it's not
like
mine as well.
you can already tell there's like garbage all over the front end of that complex over there.
Correct. And he was saying that the church is being owned by LDS, a Mormon community.
Yeah.
And he was saying like most of it is pretty decent if you go further down the lane as well.
Yeah.
So just be careful what you're getting into. And he basically didn't know much, but he said like there's been cops more or less.
Yeah.
So be careful and stay out of my neighborhood.
But at least you got some good intel. And we already had that feeling about that complex there.
Absolutely.
So, you know what? At the end of the day, I think the 3 days that we spent here in Phoenix, Arizona have been fruitful.
Absolutely.
We've learned a lot about the market. And in terms of the assets, I was saying to Sid, we saw like seven complexes, maybe more. For us and where we're at in our investment journey, this is something that suits us. Exactly what we're looking for.
But we still have 4 more complexes.
So let's go. What do you guys got to say to our friends?
I would like to say that whenever there is a boots on the ground event, do not even think whether I should go or not go, because now we know which neighborhood, what's the cost per unit.
Yeah.
So next time, if I'm even analyzing a deal, sitting at my desk in Canada, I exactly know what the cost per unit for this region is, and when there is a good deal, I know to hop on it, because speed is of the essence.
Yeah.
When you are dealing with multifamily acquisition,
Absolutely.
right?
And just the way the buildings are built here are different, so you need to wrap your head around it first.
Yes, sir.
What are
Yeah.
good builds and what are not.
You have to go and study that market. I talked about Elon Musk going to Mars.
Yeah.
He's not going to just send the people to Mars and figure it out, you know? He's going to study. It's going to take years and years and years. He's going to send supplies first. He's going to build resources. He's going to have infrastructure. So by the time people hit the ground, they hit the ground running.
Correct, like step by step.
Yeah,
by step.
yeah, exactly. So, you know what? That's exactly what we're doing. You know, we're entering new markets, and I really highly encourage anybody that's watching this to try new markets. Don't just be limited by your backyard or your province, your state, your country. There's money to be made everywhere, but you need to know what you're doing.
Absolutely.
And then connect with people and share with people. So I gave him, like, now next time I found a property in Arizona, Phoenix, hey Alfonso, tuck.
Yeah.
This is what I found. He gives me some insight. I give you some insight. You share with me. That's how we grow, all of us together, right?
Yes, sir.
That's how we-
All right, guys.
Bye.
We will see you at the top.